got combat.
Welcome to the Bombadcast. All right. What's up, everybody? I am Jerry. I am the Canon Junkie, and it is a lovely Bombad day. So good to see you all here, or listen to you all here, I guess. And I am sitting here with none other than the man himself, Scotty J-Ro. Scotty, how you doing, buddy?
Oh, Jerry. Oh, look at you. You're like building me up, man. Look, I know it's our first podcast, but I am stoked. I am so glad to be here. You have no idea, dude. It's been a long time coming, and man, I'm feeling great, Jerry. I am feeling good. It's finally here, man. We did it. We've talked about this. I'm gonna give you a little bit of backstory for my people listening. For the past 6 weeks, Jerry and I have been on and off texting, let's just start this little thing, maybe, I don't know. And then we talked about it, whatever, and here we are. We're at episode 0, the beginning,
we're doing it.
The pilot episode. So anyway, look, Jerry, how did you and I come together? Give a little bit of a story. You're a great storyteller. Give us a little bit of backstory.
Well, thank you so much. Well, you and I, we've known of each other for a while, I believe. We've followed the Resistance broadcast a little spell.
Punch it, baby.
It's a little podcast, of course, like I said, called the Resistance broadcast. It brings people together. If you don't listen to it, you should, but stay right here because we've got some good stuff too.
That was not a paid plug. I will. No. This is from the bottom of our hearts.
John Sendall checks, era of Jerry Cable, Michigan. No, okay. You can try. I'm sure John's like, I have no money. So I can't send you anything.
Oh, he's trying to make Solo 2 happen now. He's the schemer. But yeah, so Jerry, you and I, we met at through the Resistance broadcast, and you talk to these people over Twitter, and TRB has a great way of building a community, and
absolutely,
they really round up their people in their podcast, and it's a fantastic show. If you have not listened to it, please give them a shot. Anyway, so Jerry and I would be mentioned the same shows sometimes, and we would end up liking each other's tweets and following each other, whatnot. And of course, here we are, showing up at Celebration together, and because of just a love of Star Wars, and that's why we're all here. And he walks up to me and he's like, "Hey, I'm Canon Junkie." I said, "Oh my God, well I'm Scotty J-Ro," and we met. Yeah, now look, here we are.
Yes,
but
it was something like that.
Exactly like that. And of course, there were other people around us, and it was at Resistance Broadcast Meetup when we first met.
Yes,
and and what brought you to Celebration? If you really take a step back, I know we are a Star Wars podcast, and I know we are excited to be doing this together. But why do we love this franchise? What is this about Star Wars?
Well, Scotty, for me, see, I think my earliest memory of Star Wars, I've got 2, so I don't know which one came first. And I tried, especially after I got back from Celebration, to ask my mother to remember, hey, when did I get into Star Wars originally? She's like, I don't know, you just kind of always liked it. It's like, well, thanks, Mother. It's how it goes. But
very helpful.
The first couple memories I remember are actually, let's see, I was at my grandmother's house, and the whole family, the cousins, everyone was kind of there, and Empire Strikes Back was on television. And I remember being slightly afraid of this. It was Yoda and Luke on Dagobah. I don't know exactly what scene on Dagobah it was. But I remember kind of being a little creeped out, like, oh, this is kind of I don't know if I'm able to watch this yet. So
definitely.
I was pretty young.
Yeah.
I like to say I was around 6 years old when I finally got fully, excuse me. But,
yeah.
My goodness. I also remember my cousin showing me the lightsaber duel between Luke and Vader from Empire Strikes Back. I don't know if he like had the VHS or I don't think it was Betamax. I think I'm younger than that.
Yeah.
But I like to think sometimes. But it anyway, he showed me this, and I was like really into Conan the Barbarian at the time. I don't know if you ever Hanna-Barbera cartoon.
You know, I actually never have.
It's you're not missing much. I mean, it's Barbarian who's got like a Thundar the Barbarian. Sorry, not Conan. Thundar Barbarian, and he had a sun sword.
Okay.
Which is essentially a lightsaber. I saw it, and I was like, whoa, these are way cooler than the sun. Because I would when I was a kid, I would take the plastic swords and break the actual sword part off, and I was like, I've got a sun sword, but then it's like, well, then you've got nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but lightsabers were way better.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's what I can remember. So Scotty, tell me though, what brings you, what got you into Star Wars? What is your first memory?
Now, this is, of course, I guess to clear up the air, I was born in 95, right? So I was born summer of 95. Chicken. I am a spring chicken, apparently. Jerry keeps calling me a young man, and he's over here, and I watched him take his cane out of his... Jerry's an old guy. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, so
Ancient.
I was about 5 or 4 years old when The Phantom Menace came out. Now, of course, I had watched the Star Wars movies previous to that. That's why I went and saw The Phantom Menace with my father and my grandfather, which is like... I remember this so well because it's in a theater now that's been torn down. That was by our house, the Broadmoor Theater. A little point of reference. I'm from Louisiana, Baton Rouge, and Jerry's from Michigan, I believe, right?
Currently.
Just making sure.
From Arkansas originally, but now in Michigan.
So to your audible allusions here, Jerry and I are actually in the same room in 2 different states.
That's why I said I'm sitting here with you.
Yes, we are looking, we are staring at each other. There is no computer involved. No,
not at all.
So here I am, about 4 or 5 years old, and I'm sitting in this theater, and the one thing I do remember vividly was that first opening text and the how loud it was in the theater when of course the theme, boom, oh my god, and it still gives me chills discussing it because that's one thing. But also, I'm very proud to say, I was never a child of the special editions, which kind of makes no sense because those were coming out in VHS at the time. My dad was smart enough. He bought I believe the 1993 or 92 THX VHSs before they were ever edited, right?
I had that. It was with the Leonard Maltin interviews, correct?
And I just got chills because you said that, because that is honest to God. If someone says, let's watch Star Wars, or if I want to watch Star Wars, I do not put the Blu-ray version on. I have got my VHS player hooked up to my flat screen to watch those versions of that movie because it's so perfect. I don't care what anyone says. I have the despecialized editions too. I downloaded all of them and I got them burnt to a Blu-ray. I'll watch those occasionally, but when I want to have like a nostalgia trip, I watch those interviews before it, and the music sounds flat. It's awesome. It's just like you're really, Anyway, so that's how I really got into Star Wars at a young age, and of course it grew. I was 9 years old when The Revenge of the Sith came out, and I saw it on May 19th. I actually have the ticket still framed, and I remember seeing it in theaters on the last day of school of 3rd grade. Vividly remember that, and like it just stuck in my head. But anyway, we're all intertwined by this franchise. I mean, that's why you're listening as a listener, and that's why Jerry's here. That's why I'm here. And there's a couple of things I will say about Star Wars. We all have our favorite things in Star Wars, right? You've got your favorite movies, your favorite ships, your favorite characters, themes, even like poetic themes like George Lucas's, layering of stories. And, I really want to, because Jerry and I, of course, we talked at Celebration, but like, we never really got to the nitty gritty because we were talking about the Rise of Skywalker, all the things that was going on then. We actually never discussed what our favorite things were. So Jerry.
Yes, sir.
To me, if you were to categorize Star Wars films, you've got favorite movie, best movie, and most fun movie. Now, what is your favorite Star Wars movie?
Ooh.
If you can, at this point in your life,
see if I can separate them, because for me, you could almost say that every Star Wars film falls under each one of those categories.
I agree.
Definitely. But if I had to, okay, so favorite movie currently, I don't know about you. This is an ever-evolving list for me.
Yo, me too, totally.
It's always been that way for me. And so, I think I would have to say my current favorite movie, if I have to divide favorite and best.
Yep. And most fun.
And most fun. I think I'm going to go with The Last Jedi.
Dude.
Bring it on.
Dude.
Bring it on.
Dude.
I was born in the 80s, son. And I still like it. What's your excuse? Hashtag yes, my Luke.
I mean, I completely agree with you.
Not to be confrontational.
No, not at all. Jerry, you obviously sound like a very, not confrontational guy with making a statement like that.
Right. I thought you were going to say embattled. Because it feels like that sometimes.
You are Luke on a crate right now, okay?
Yeah.
And that's the haters is the first order around you. No, yes, leaving the theater, because, of course, I go see it with peers, and they had different opinions of mine, but when I left that theater, I had never seen anything that made me feel that way, ever.
Exactly. That was what I loved so much about it, though, was, Scott, I had, aside from watching the original trilogy first, back in, whenever I watched it, of course, on VHS, then I went to see every special edition, and, I am a sucker for quality, so I absolutely love the Blu-rays and all of that, so I watch them all on that, but it was the first time I had ever watched a Star Wars movie and not known where everything was going.
Dude, same.
And
what? Oh
that
my God,
was
so
such a transcendent feeling.
It was.
To watch it and not go, oh, that guy's going to become Darth Vader at the end of this.
Yeah, I mean,
so awesome.
Funny you say that, because that's what made The Force Awakens, and it was good. I love that movie, don't get me wrong.
Oh, I love Force Awakens so much.
And no one really understands why I fell back in love with this franchise. I'm sure people like you do and people listening do. But, the prequels were just, you can see where it's going. I mean, that's the point of the prequels. And then, of course, whenever The Last Jedi dropped and we all sat there in the theater and we were dumbfounded with what they did and the directions they took, it was only natural. And, to have that urge to see more of it is just so real.
Yes.
And like you just said, you have never been in a more transcendent feeling. I still remember the utter shock when Luke was on a whole different world from, he was on Octo.
I know.
And there he is that was insanity.
Yes. And I don't think you were with me. I think it was Scott Gibson who was walking with me. We were walking around, I believe, on Saturday. And we
shout out to Scott Gibson.
Shout out at Scott Gibby. You're the man. You're the man with a plan. All right.
Always.
We were walking around, and I found someone dressed as Crate Luke, which I'm going to.
Wow.
You know, a secret. Crate Luke is my favorite Luke right now.
I bet it is.
And for real, I am waiting. There is a vintage collection figure coming out this summer. I'm waiting for the Black Series, but I'm probably gonna grab that little 3 3/4 Crate Luke, because there is no form of Crate Luke besides a Funko Pop, and I don't do the Funko Pop right now. It's just there's too much.
Oh, and trust me, I'll get into that another day. We'll talk about toys in a future episode.
Oh, we're gonna have to, because I can get on a tangent. So.
Oh, totally. But anyway, so.
Well, sorry. Go ahead.
No. So in particular, that Luke is your favorite. I can agree to that. It's my favorite Luke. And if I were to counter what you said, that is your favorite, or is that the best one? Would you say that was your favorite?
I'm going to say that's the favorite.
Okay, now
when we get to best, I'll kind of tell you my dilemma, but
for all the same reasons you say that is your favorite,
yes,
that is the best Star Wars movie to me. Now, of course, we're going to have some people that'll have different opinions, and that is completely fine. You can always DM us, chat us. I want to hear what you have to say about this, too.
This is a safe space, even though I was so confrontational.
Yes.
We can actually had conversations with people who didn't care for The Last Jedi.
Me too.
It was one of the first conversations I had.
Wow, really?
So it was so nice to have that conversation, not through a comment section.
Exactly, where it's so blind. But anyway, so that is to me, the best Star Wars movie. Just what it did with the franchise, the music, everything was just phenomenal. So let me counter what you said about favorites.
Okay.
My favorite of all time to this day, and I actually think I posted this on Twitter recently, was Return of the Jedi.
I remember you saying that.
Yeah. So I wrote on Twitter, I said, Richard Marquand's Return of the Jedi is the most Star Wars movie. I don't care what you say. Through and through it is. It is. Empire Strikes Back was a great story, okay? And of course, A New Hope set up Star Wars in a perfect way. It's very George Lucas, all the aliens and everything. But if you take Return of the Jedi, you've got like the creature factors amped up. The space battle is amped up. The lightsaber battle is everything that made Star Wars in both those movies. It is perfected to me in Return of the Jedi. That's why it is my absolute favorite of all time.
That's what I have to tell you that Return of the Jedi has always been one of my favorites. It has grown for me over the last couple of years, simply because of a lot of what happens between Luke and Vader and Palpatine in the throne room.
Yeah,
that is quintessential peak Star Wars.
Oh, dude, 100%. It's seeing that those two characters interact, but it's emotional and every line counts, which is what I loved about that scene.
Yes.
It was totally not throwaway. Like,
not a single inch of that movie, even though people might say that it might be.
And like,
even the Ewoks.
To me, I love The Phantom Menace, my favorite movie at all, but one of my favorite prequels. But there are the battles between Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan and Maul. They're great, but there's no dialogue at all.
Right.
Like, at all. It's grunts and noises and jumps and sounds. And I understand that, but that's what makes, to me, Star Wars is that conversation while fighting in Return of the Jedi. Because it's that father-son, it's so emotional. And even Obi-Wan and Anakin in Return of the Jedi, they barely talk, except for when they land the platform, "You and my brother Anakin, and I love you." There's that, but that's it for those movies.
Right.
Like, there was no conversation in the prequels. That is why Return of the Jedi's battles, to me, not as elegant, but way more emotional, way more profound.
Well, it's a battle for not only the galaxy's soul; it was a battle for Luke's soul
and fate.
Soul. Fate. It was so personal. And
so personal.
My favorite part of that battle, and I'm sorry, I don't want to hijack your thing at all, but
no,
the where Luke is hiding from Vader. And Vader is talking to him, and he's saying, "Oh, you have a sister. Well, now Obi-Wan's failure is complete. Well, if you won't turn, then maybe she will." When Luke jumps out from behind that pillar and screams, "No!"
Yeah.
It is heart-wrenching now.
It is.
It is heart-wrenching, and it is awesome. It's awesome.
God, that's true, because if you were to take what we learned in The Last Jedi, how Luke, yet again, naturally made a mistake, just like he would. That's just so true to his character. That's why I love
surprisingly, it's true to his character.
Yeah, I mean, he's flawed. He's a flawed human. But anyway, I mean, we can keep going on and on about this.
Entire episodes.
What is your most fun? Okay, like what is your when you take a step back and you look at this? I mean, now we've got how many? 9 movies right now?
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry.
Well,
or 10.
11 when all is said and done.
Yes, 11 by December we'll have 11.
By December, yes.
Out of 11 of these movies, what is the most fun? Now, if
Rise
I were to categorize...
No.
I mean, at Celebration, it was really fun.
It was pretty awesome.
But to me, most fun would be like kind of get you giddy. Definitely not your favorite, definitely not the best, but it's something that when you put it on, like, you might actually pay more attention to it because it just got you sucked in. What is that for you? Because I know mine off the top of my head.
Well, if I may, real quick, I want to give my best movie because...
I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, you're good. Just come on, man. Come on. No, you're good. This is calm down, everybody. It's okay. We're not fighting. We're okay. It's good radio. That's what that's called.
I just pushed his chair over in front of me.
Exactly. We're in the same room.
We are.
My best movie, I would have to be as basic as all get out and say Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, no, that's not basic.
What? Are you kidding me? You ask everyone, what's your favorite Star Wars movie? What's the best Star Wars movie? Empire Strikes Back. I mean, bro. I love but that's okay because I'm like, it's one of my. I think it's one of the best. It took what Star Wars, what A New Hope did, and opened the universe up.
Oh, totally. And
then Phantom Menace came back around again and did it again. By the way, my favorite prequel as well.
Okay.
Yeah, same. Okay.
Same Z's.
Same Z's. We're twinsies. Anyway.
But Empire is such a strong movie.
Yes.
It is such a strong movie, and I can see why it's the best. It's the quintessential sequel.
Right.
Like, everyone says Wrath of Khan, everyone says Empire, everyone says, and that's the only two I usually hear that are just good sequels. Godfather 2, those are all really good sequels. But
I'm really close with you with the Last Jedi being the best, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just a beautifully made film.
Oh my God, and of course one of the best scenes of Empire is whenever, of course, no, I am your father, but the conversation before they even fight on top of the carbon freeze chamber is it's just so beautiful, and of course another obscure director. We got Irvin Kershner who comes in and makes that movie. That was Lucas's school teacher university teacher at
yes, I read that book recently, or I listened to the audiobook, How Star Wars Conquered the Universe. And
that I have not. I need to.
Oh, it's fantastic, gorgeous. Plug for Star Wars Conquered the Universe by Chris Taylor, I believe. Check it out, guys. It was one of his film professors from UEC, I believe, is the USC. It's the film school that everyone goes to in LA.
Yes.
So take that and Google.
Yes, exactly. So that's what I like about it. And of course, we can always, we're going to end up having episodes just on these movies alone.
I know. We need to,
let's get through this. This has been so awesome so far. I hope y'all are enjoying it. That's what matters a lot.
Yes.
That's the point here. But real quick, most fun movie and why?
Okay.
Most fun.
Me first?
Yeah, you can go.
All right. Cool. I don't know. We might have the same answer, but I'm not going to just assume that because I don't. You know what happens when you assume. But I'm not going to say it, because you know it.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and say the most fun. Oh, your imagination will run wild. Most fun movie in the Star Wars genre, and it is a genre.
Let's hear it.
Solo, a Star Wars story.
Ooh.
Tag, make Solo 2 happen, baby.
Hey.
Do it. We've got Jonas on our side. Let's do it.
Keep the
win with the mighty
going.
Wookiee.
We will be an advocate for this movement. My people at TRB, we will be an advocate for this movement. We got this.
John, James, and Lacey. You got us.
Make it happen, y'all. I agree with you. But my most fun's a little bit different. Tell me why it's the most fun to you.
For me, it's... I forget what I was listening to today. They were talking, maybe, never mind, it was the Resistance broadcast. They were talking about how Solo you can just throw it on, and it's just fun.
Oh, yeah.
It's quintessential Star Wars. And there's not a Force user until the end.
And that's okay. He barely uses it.
Yeah, he ignites his lightsaber to show you he has a lightsaber. He doesn't even need to do it, but it's Darth Maul, so he does it. I don't know why people are so upset by that. Anyway, I'm going on tangents, so that's it's okay.
Yeah, that's a fun movie.
It's so fun, and they do the. I mean, I'm sorry, but the Kessel Run is one of the most fun sequences in Star Wars.
I could not agree more. It's
so great.
Interaction, everything
between the music and all of that.
Ron Howard nailed that out of the park, and I knew
Chef's kiss, Ronnie. Chef's kiss. Oh, so minty fresh. There you go. We're gonna steal everybody's catchphrases, I guess.
If you haven't heard of Black Series Rebels, check them out too.
Yes,
great people. We met them at Celebration as well.
Fantastic individuals.
Next time it'll be in their hometown Anaheim, so we're gonna party with them.
Heck yeah, buddy.
Anyway, so Castle Run.
Lay it on me.
Castle Run, fun part. I can name so many sequences of that movie that are monumental for fun and just exciting. You got the convex train sequence. I mean, there are so many things that gets me going as a Star Wars fan. But if you were to take back, look at some roots. The most fun Star Wars movie for me, the movie that I will put on even if it's been memed front and back, a surprise to be sure, but a welcome one. I am talking about the Phantom Menace
Yes.
through and through. I mean, there are very few scenes in any Star Wars movie that has no music and it's still good. That pod race scene is phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Yes.
Phenomenal. And I can watch that movie once a week and still find pleasure in it. And it's just, now that it's been memed so much, I can actually take a step back, and of course and you know, a lot of people loathe the writing, but I can appreciate the writing now. I can see what George is trying to do. He is not the best writer, we can all admit it, but he is an incredible creator of themes and showing that these parallels in all these movies, and that movie is nothing but a chef's kiss, oh so minty fresh, to his original trilogy. And then now we've got people like Rian Johnson and JJ who are paying tribute to the prequels and paying tribute to, it's just, I love, this is why I love this franchise.
Yes.
But anyway, our love of this franchise, Jerry, took us to a very special destination. Where was this exactly?
Good segue, my friend. I'm sorry, that was fantastic. It's great to have a podcast and be able to say that.
You know, hey, a little quick briefing. I'm a teacher by trade, so you got to have a good segues in your lesson. You got to. No,
it's all about the segues.
It's all about the segues, man. You got to trick these kids into doing your work. No, so here's the deal. Jerry and I, Jerry, where do we meet? What's going on?
Well, Scotty the J-Ro, sir, we met officially.
Yes.
It is known as, probably, and has been called by people who have been to celebrations years past, the probably best celebration ever. Star Wars Celebration, Chicago 2019.
5 days.
5 days.
Unbelievable. And
summer
each
camp
day...
with Star Wars and snow. It was intense. No way, though, right?
It's so weird to think back. It almost seems like a apparently some sort of like ecstasy. Like everything was wonderful.
Yes.
I mean, like here I am having dinner with my favorite podcasters and content creators, and here I am meeting all these other new people, and here I am observing these trailers and these fans. It is literally like, if you haven't been to Celebration, I could not. I mean, just save $10 or $20 a paycheck, and like within the next year, do whatever you can and make yourself go. I mean, if you haven't been, you. I'm not gonna say you're missing out, but my God, you need to go.
Well,
you know,
Scotty, may I? I'm sorry.
No, please.
Interrupt you. As someone who who didn't go to Celebration until this year.
Yeah.
May I say, I wonder what the heck did I do with the rest of my life.
So funny you say that, because I went in 17, and a lot of people I met this year was their first time going, and 17 was incredible. Don't get me wrong, Orlando was an easy drive for me, being from Louisiana,
right?
And I was wonderful. But Chicago, I don't know what about it. Maybe it was a communal sense. I'm more active now, and everyone, of course, is after Celebration on Twitter and social media and stuff with Star Wars, and I met some of the most incredible people, and I want to talk to you about having the opportunity to meet you in person and how much that meant to me.
Me too to you.
I mean, it's so surreal to think we can do this now and make this happen. But like, I'm not gonna lie, April, whatever, the day before, I never thought I'd be doing a podcast this soon and this excited. Right. I've always had to drive, and I mean, I think you the same, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I never thought... I tell you, the first time I ever heard about Celebration, it was in a Star Wars Insider. And I don't think I knew really what it was until after Episode 3 was coming out.
Yeah.
And I remembered, oh yeah, that's that thing with all the people in the muddy tents. But it's a lot cooler this year. And I remember thinking like, oh, it's in like, I think it was in Colorado still. I think they stayed there for a few years, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'll never be able to go. Because I was, again, hadn't graduated high school yet. Little body, little country mouse, like...
Yeah.
Oh, shucks, I ain't gonna go nowhere. You know, it's... My goodness. The world, if only I had made it to another... But I'm so glad that I made it to the one that I made it
Totally, and what a good one to go to. For my people that did went, profound experience, I'm sure. I mean, I of course had spiritual, emotional, communal, every kind of relationship. It was almost like going to church. I mean, like it really was like this higher level of energy I've never experienced, and even though you were exhausted day after day, you wanted nothing more than if someone at celebration was like, hey, let's go out to eat. And what would you say? Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Let's do it. You only do this 5 days out of a year or 2 years or whatever, your whole life.
Yes.
Why the heck not? Go do it,
Just Powerade, man. Just
exactly
it or whatever, or water. Water's actually but anyway.
Yeah, no, totally. Jerry, I want you, because you had a different experience than I did. I went to Orlando and I drove there. It was very different. It was very a little bit more personal, a little more private. Me and my girlfriend Katie, you'll hear way more about Katie in this podcast, trust me. Went to Orlando, and then of course we flew to Chicago to do Celebration there too. And it was different. But Jerry, tell me about your experience, because there was a this is kind of a bold thing to do. Jerry, tell them what you did that was different.
Well, I actually drove in this year, and again I came by myself. I was not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I was pretty scared to go to the giant city by myself.
Yeah.
And I don't know, go to this huge convention where I don't know anyone, but we all like the same thing, so it's okay.
Yeah.
You tell yourself all these things, and I'm like, I finally got over the anxiety of staying in a giant city and walking places without, use of a vehicle.
Totally.
That just blows my mind.
Yeah, never had that experience either, man. And you've got 65,000 other fans that love this.
That's such a crazy number. Such a crazy number. Can you believe there was 65,000? There's 65,000 people in my hometown in Arkansas.
Exactly.
And they were all at Celebration. So, it's so crazy, my man. I mean, okay. I don't know. And let me get real with you for a second, if I may.
Please. No, please. That's what we're here for.
The first day, let's see. I was having fun walking around by myself looking at stuff. I'd met a couple of podcasters. I met, shout out to Force Center. I met Ken Knapsack. And
nice.
And little Marky Ellis, baby character, with them. And so, they
the Collider crew.
The Collider crew, but not even really anymore, because I realized Mark doesn't even work there anymore. He's doing stand-up full-time now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's why he was recording his stand-up special that week.
That makes sense.
I got a picture with them, and I was like, all right, weekend set, because that was the first podcast I started listening to.
Yeah, yeah.
It was Jedi Council. I've moved on from there.
You just literally walked into them, too, I bet.
Yes, guess what? We got a picture. I was like, let's get a picture. Like, okay, hey. They're like, hey, Bresnikan, you want to take this? Anthony Bresnikan walking by and stops and's like, oh, sure. Takes a picture. Walks. I never saw him again.
No way. I did not know that.
Yeah, I have.
You're serious?
I had rock star experiences like out the wazoo for me, for Star Wars podcasters and
no
cover Star Wars. I was excited because I was meeting my wife was like, did you see anyone who was in the movies? I was like, I saw Ken Knapsack and I saw Joseph Scrimshaw and I saw...
And what movies were they in?
What are they in? They're in Star Wars land. That's what they're in, Mama.
Yeah, so, they're from Galaxy's Edge.
Yes,
they're from Batu. No, anyway. So here you are.
Yes.
At Celebration, you're just doing your thing.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Well, from there, a lot of stuff happened. I met a few more people. I met the Dorky Diva. She is such a nice person in real life. And then, oh gosh, I'm forgetting other people's names. I saw Sky Talkers from afar. If you know Sky.
Okay, yeah.
Charlotte and Caitlin. I love their podcast.
Yeah, I follow them. Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say I'm not full Raylo, but I'm total Bendemption, and we welcome the Raylos, we welcome the Bendemptionists, we welcome everyone. You just be nice.
Yeah, just be cordial.
This is sacred ground here. But anyway, so I I met a lot of people that I follow on Twitter, and I was like, this is really cool. But I never met anyone that, like, I was just like, well, let's just hang out, you know?
Yeah.
I didn't want to, you know, and I didn't want to, like, hover around people, you know, all before, you know, on Twitter, the week before, people were like, make sure to respect people's boundaries and all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, I want to be that. I don't want to be because I've been the crazed fan
of course
stars before and had
Yeah.
a demo from my band, and I've regretted. I want to go back in time and slap myself, like slap the CD out of my hand, pick it up and break it, and go, "You suck." Maybe not that bad, but anyway.
I see what you're saying, though. Completely understand that. And there's just things you do naturally,
right,
that you know you want to reach out to them as much as they reach out to you.
Exactly.
You know, I feel that.
Exactly. Well, okay. So here's the thing, and I'm going on long-winded. So, but
no,
okay,
it's fine.
But anyway, so the Resistance broadcast was having a meetup, and I was like, well, I want to be here for that. You know, we're like, well, we're going to be right before the Black Series Rebels meetup, which was a mob, not a
literal.
Yeah, but
literal.
Yes, watch their celebration series. By the way, that series like brought me so much nostalgia. It was
it was ridiculous.
I need a brain scan after all that nostalgia. It was insane.
God,
it was so good.
It was so nice.
If you want to know what it's like to be at Celebration, watch that. Anyway,
that's a good highlight reel.
Also, really Scotty, you're in there like a couple of times, and I'm on the periphery in a couple of things. I have to go. I'm like SpongeBob on that episode where he's in the commercial and like, look, Gary, there I am. Look, Allison, there I am. She's like, cool, that's awesome. I'm happy for you. That's exciting, but yeah, you're just in it for 12 seconds.
They were such nice people.
Oh, they're so
really
awesome.
Were.
They're so awesome.
Oh, they're fantastic.
But anyway, so I didn't get a pin there. Mm-hmm. It was a mob. So
literal,
and it was okay. I was like, you know, it happens. But before that was the Resistance broadcast meetup, and I went and I met all these people I follow on Twitter, and they're such fantastic, nice people. And then I kind of do what I do. I am an extroverted introvert, or introverted extrovert, whichever way you want to go.
Yeah.
Kind of shy until you get to know me, then you can't shut me up, which it may or may not be a problem for you, so we'll find out later. Anyway, yeah, so I kind of ended up off on the periphery, and they're about to take a picture. They were going to in a little bit, and I wasn't really talking to anyone. It's no one's fault but my own.
Yeah.
And I go, I'm just going to walk to the other side. I had to meet Steele Saunders to get my T-shirt. I forgot that I had to do that. But I'm still bummed. I have a shirt. I finally got my shill shirt. My because.
Oh yeah.
I'm a card carrying. I'm paid by Disney, of course.
Yeah, we both are.
If you have a podcast and you like The Last Jedi, you're paid by Disney. Even though we're down to one card currently.
We drink Fanboy Tears. We're paid by Disney.
Yes, my car runs on Fanboy Tears, but I haven't had enough recently. So
we're both social justice warriors too. So yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. We're both real.
Couple of NPCs.
Yeah, we're the leftist and the rightist of each political party. So that's just what we are. You know.
Exactly. Whatever offends you, we're that. Just look at my profile picture on Twitter and you'll know where I stand.
We're the Marilyn Manson of Star Wars.
Exactly. Rock on.
That's how we do it.
Anyway, so I was out shilling it up and being a NPC. I don't know what it is. Sounds like a bank. But anyway, so I was out doing my thing and I was just being a sad sack.
Yeah.
Came back, and I didn't get the pin, and I was kind of hanging around. But then after that meetup, I met such a bright light in a bright turquoise jacket, Mr. Scotty J. What a fantastic time that was. You seriously made you made my day.
Oh, Jay.
One head, no, I'm going to tell you, we're going to get, okay, it's about to get real, folks. All right, just don't cry. All right.
I'll try it.
Let's cry.
We can cry.
Yeah. It's a safe space. It's a Star Wars safe space. But anyway, no, seriously, you were the first person. You and Katie were the first people to talk to me, for longer than maybe 5 to 10 minutes.
Well, there's very few people that like. No, of course, no, and that's the thing. I guess that's why we're here right now. There's few people you meet at a celebration, at an event that you can kick off right with. Like immediately we just started talking. What do you do? What do you Oh, I'm so excited. What are you excited for? Like it's essentially just like this podcast. Like it is exactly how we spoke to them when we first met, and and it felt right. And like, of course, there were other wonderful people around us. We got Sean Fabry.
Shout out to Safari Ben.
Safari Ben, and
he knows everyone. He knows everyone.
He does. Oh my God, he got me the hookup. Met Matt Martin through him.
Yes.
What?
See, you got to meet Matt Martin. I didn't
yes.
meet anyone through him, but talking to that man, it's like having the survival guide to sell and come to life and walk beside you and talk with you. Sean, I know you're listening right now. I love you, my man. You are the best.
And of course, we meet Sean, fantastic man.
Yes.
We got Scott Gibson, my dude, Scott Gibby.
Scott Gibby.
Scott Gibby.
Scotty Gibby.
So like, I mean, and we got Danny. Danny from I really trying to think of her Twitter handle. But we also met just a handful of people that I'll never forget, and we actually ended up spending a lot of time with Sean and Scott Gibson a lot more.
Yes.
We met Bill Sheehy in person.
Oh, I was gonna say, shout out to Star Wars
James,
Bill.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people that, of course, my mind at this moment goes blank, but there was probably about 15 people that I've interacted with, daily or weekly or monthly on social media that I met in person, and it was so surreal, man. It was so surreal, and like
it was like a live recreation of Twitter.
That is so true, and like I can go on and on about each day of celebration, but
there's too many to name.
There's too many right now, and then we're gonna do a full celebration recap. I'm planning. I have this, guys. I haven't even told Jerry this.
Oh man, you've got plans?
I will not only.
I was thinking we just wing it the whole time.
No.
Oh
look,
my gosh, this is amazing.
Jerry, that's the thing. If this goes well, okay, let's hold on. Let's pretend like the listeners aren't here. Jerry, if this goes well, I will try to make videos and like play into this, man. Like, all right, let's get back to the real listeners. All right. So anyway, my listeners here. Look, I have.
What's up, guys?
I have been. Yeah, welcome back. You must have heard a bunch of like fuzzy sounds just now.
Just like
you didn't hear us scheming. You didn't hear that.
No. Secrets don't make friends, Scotty. Come on.
Yeah. No. But in all seriousness, Jerry, I have been planning on releasing and editing and finishing my Star Wars hype video. So maybe we'll have a podcast that's around that. And,
yes.
And I actually haven't told you this, Jerry.
I love it.
Remember that guy we were standing next to during the Rise of Skywalker trailer, the older guy?
Yeah.
To my left. We found each other again at Celebration. We friended each other on Facebook, and he sent me his reaction video that features you in it.
Oh!
So,
dude, I have to see that. I have to see that. I didn't know I made it.
Yeah.
I actually, it's funny, I met him with Sean.
Oh, really?
And we were like, we cried together on the floor, and it was transcendental and amazing. You're awesome.
And his name, shout out to my boy Josh. Josh, if you're listening, I hope you are. Shout out to you, dude. That video you sent me, it's being compiled into a huge reaction video. I can't wait for all of you to see it. There's going to be a big recap video I make at hopefully coming in the next month or so by July. We're going to have an episode centered around Celebration. We're going to go into more detail. But real quick, Jerry, I believe we had some listeners send us some stuff.
Yes.
Talking about before we even Celebration.
Sorry. I all over your line, sir. Go ahead.
No, you go, my friend.
Well, all I was going to say was we had listeners who were listening before we even made a podcast.
Yep.
That's got to be some kind of record. I don't know. But anyway, continue with your intro because you were doing it beautifully.
No worries, bud. So like we had bounced this idea on Twitter for a while that we're gonna start a podcast, bro, and we actually did. Did, and here we are. We are audibly entering your ear holes, and it's incredible right now. I hope you feel the same. You're welcome. But here I am.
Well, no.
So
Star Wars.
Yes, Star Wars. We've got some people that reached out to us because we made a post today actually about what was some good celebration memories you had, and we've been having support. We made a Twitter page, I believe, the day before yesterday, and let me check my we already have 54 followers, and this is just
my goodness,
because of the good community we have, and we hope these followers are listening right now. But anyway, we got some interesting comments and messages from our people about celebration. Let me get into these real quick. All right,
go for it.
So feels so weird to even be reading this because this is the first episode. How do we already have this?
I know.
Rural Farm Boy at a Rural Farm Boy sends this.
Rural Farm Boy. Sorry, I love
this
that
dude. If you haven't, you need to follow him. Interesting guy. I think he's a moisture farmer. I think just by judging from the way he speaks on Twitter, it's incredible. All right, I'm gonna read it in the dialect that I am kin to, a southern dialect. All right, so. This is how it is written. Though I weren't there, many of my favorite memories was through many of our friends that made podcast last episodes and shared them each day at #SWCC. So for me, I had a lot to listen to. What friends did, saw who they met. What all of our friends did was really special, right?
That is right. I love it.
Yeah.
If yours a Star Wars podcast, this gentleman follows it. And Rural Farm Boy, you are a gentleman, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. And there's very few people that I interact with daily like that. And hopefully I'll see him in the next celebration. And when I do, it'll be just like this. Hopefully something can stem from this.
And at the next celebration, we'll be all talking about how we made Solo 2 happen, because it's all for that too.
All right, what did Sean have to say, Jerry?
All right, well, Sean Fabry, the fabulous Sean Fabry at Safari Ben, he says randomly, the best part about Celebration or his memories were randomly running into Anthony Carboni and Ahmad Best was pretty cool, and that man does meet everyone. It seemed like every day he came back and he was like, "Oh, I met yesterday. He's not even here."
No,
well,
exactly.
I saw him. He's cool. He was like, "Oh yeah, it was great. Nice to meet you." Everyone's got to have their George impression, right? But he also added, and I love this. He included a picture of himself with Carboni and Ahmad Best, and I'm jealous, Sean, because the only picture I got of with Carboni, I was not in it, and he was behind the police tape that we couldn't cross it in the beginning.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so it was one of those like paparazzi shots.
And of course, Sean throws in this, and he's like very fitting for your podcast name,
the Bombad Cast. Yes,
hey,
we love Ahmad.
Jerry, let's make a pact right now, you and me. Hold on, I'm gonna whisper in the microphone so our viewers won't hear this. All right, here's a pact. We're gonna have a pact to get Ahmad Best on the show at some point. This might be a year, might be 2 years from now. This might be live at Celebration. Hey, we can't guarantee this. Look, if we got these followers and these fans that want to get us there, hey, make it happen, fans. Alrighty, let's
maybe they should send a tweet to him.
Maybe I don't know. Best. There's
the Bombad Cast. They're named after
centric. Yeah, there's a Jar Jar centric thing. All right. Anyway, let's get back to the actual podcast.
All right, we're back.
All right. Yeah. We're back. So yeah, Sean was like, this is a very fitting for their name. So thank you, Sean. Hey, hopefully we see you again at Anaheim 2020. That's your people. That's your area. So our next tweet is from a friend of ours. We mentioned him before, Scott Gibson at Scotty Gibby on Twitter.
Gibby.
So he mentions, this is a great one, too many favorite moments to bring up. And this is in reference to Celebration. The energy in general and all the great fans are probably my favorite. And of course, the Rise of Skywalker panel. Now, funny we say this. We had met on that Thursday, right? Me, Jerry, and Scotty.
Yes.
Me, Jerry, and Scott Gibson. Yeah. So, and Sean. But third person, man. No, but whenever we were at the Rise of Skywalker panel, we did not get into the room. Jerry and I had ended up meeting up somehow and standing at the Star Wars stage, and then Scott Gibson was about 50 feet in front of us, but at Celebration, that's like 1,000 people in front of us.
Pretty much squeezed in between you, sideways, long ways, and stuff.
Yes, if you were to pour sand on people, it would not go past their shoulders. That's how tightly packed we were.
And they would all scream about how much they hated it.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll see myself out.
Exactly. So I mean, it's so funny to think that we were all having this communal experience at the same exact time, crying. I mean, screaming. I lost it at one point. I absolutely lost
You
it.
kept grabbing me, and I
I
wasn't
did.
upset at all. I was like, we've just met, but I love this. I feel like I've known you for my whole life.
Yes,
Excellent.
And it's funny you say that. Like,
So good.
Scott Gibson, shout out to you, dude. You were one of my favorite people I met at Celebration. And
mine too.
Look, we actually funny this happens. Jerry, would you mind reading this next part? We actually received a full-on message, like a full-page write-up from someone, a friend of ours, Rick Villanova at Cad Bane's Bounty. He's a Resistance broadcast a regular as well. So, Jerry, read that for us if you can, bud.
Absolutely. It made me feel like we had a real podcast when we got this. So that's
Yes.
Thank you, Rick.
Yes.
So Rick said, "Hey guys, just wanted to send along some memories of Celebration. First, I was all set to go all 5 days, but there was a delay in my receiving my badge, which a lot of people had trouble with that actually. I don't know if you remember all that on Twitter. Where I was worried. I didn't get mine until a week before. Anyway, a story for another time, which is something I should tell myself sometimes. I was at work at downtown Chicago. I had just sliced my finger pretty good, and I planned my break to coincide with the Episode 9 panel, like a good Star Wars fan should, sir. Thank you.
Of course.
That's what we expect of you, or you lose your...
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So he says, I went out to my car, which was parked in the lot under the Palmer House Hotel.
Mm-hmm.
The panel was fine and entertaining, but when the lights went down and the teaser started, my heart was racing. There's a period between each word.
Mm-hmm.
I sat in my car in a parking garage, screaming my head off and tearing up as Rey backflipped toward...
Oh, yeah.
And I absolutely lost my marbles when good old Sheev started cackling. Oh my gosh, man. For real. And if I would have stayed home and not gone to this one, I would have been flipping my couch.
Yeah, totally.
Trying to pull a Ray, and my wife would probably divorce me. I'm joking. So he said, I was sweating and yelling and probably crying a little. You weren't the only one, sir. We were on the floor.
All of us.
It was like a giant sweaty group hug. And it was...
Oh, it was amazing.
It was great. Probably crying and looking like a lunatic in my car. It's okay. We look like a big giant herd of lunatics. I'll never forget it.
Yeah.
I will never forget it. It's so awesome. Mm-hmm. That's awesome, man. Once I was able to get into Celebration itself, I was thrilled to meet so many fellow fans and podcasters. But one of the highlights was the Black Series Rebels meetup with the Luminous Beings shirts. Oh,
yeah.
Amazing. I missed
Jerry,
the shirt.
you were there?
I was there. You were there too, weren't you?
Yes. I didn't have my shirt on that day because I wore it the day I received that shirt on Thursday because they ran out of pins because we mobbed them. Strategy. Yeah, I had a normal shirt on that day, but I had my Luminous Being shirt on for the Rise of Skywalker trailer. But I was still in that Black Series photo because I listened to them. But anyway.
Anyway, he continues here. The whole vibe was exciting, but also super chill. There's an amazing photo of us as a group. I had a chance to meet and talk with Lacey Gillern from the Resistance broadcast. Shout out, guys. Hey, we hear you, Lacey. We see you, Lacey.
TRB.
All right.
TRB. All right, sorry.
Yeah. No, you're good. Shout out to Lace. We love you. All right. And I've come to realize that the shared company in that particular group compromised many other podcast voices and stellar artists, namely Brad from Talking Bay 94 and Art.
Yeah. Funny you say that.
Yes.
Same. That was one of the first people he gave me a button. I'm like, oh my God, I've listened to your Timothy Zahn episode. I've listened to a lot of Talking Bay episodes. That's a great podcast. Another plug to them. If you haven't listened to them, reach out and listen to them. But anyway, I'm sorry. I don't mean to derail you, Jerry.
You're good. We've been derailing the whole thing, and that's part of why we work as a podcast. All right. Okay. So, and he finishes up here. Rick, thank you for sending this in, buddy. The whole weekend was absolute magic. Amen. And I am glad it happened in my hometown. There's nothing better than I can't even imagine that. Exactly. A lot of other great things that happened there, but for now, I'll leave it at that. Cheers, guys. Rick Villanueva at Cad Bane's Bounty. And again, you have to, if we mispronounce your name, my man, we apologize.
Let us know. Let us know.
Please let us know, because we're not full of ourselves. We just want to know.
Yeah, and so funny. We're reading this message like this is a common thing we do. This is still our first podcast. This is so awesome.
It's crazy.
So thank you for seeing that in, Rick.
Yes, thank you so much.
I want to hear from you soon. Hopefully with this podcast, and I wanted to get into this real quick, Jerry. With this podcast, I have some high hopes, right?
Absolutely.
What do I want to do with it? I'm sure what do you want to do with it are questions we ask ourselves every day. Now, as a listener right now, what you can expect from us is what you just got this entire thing. A lot of positivity, some humor, some honesty. We really want to deliver, but I want you to be honest with this right now. You can DM us. You can DM me privately. You can DM Jerry. You can say, hey, Jerry, that Scott guy, I don't know about him. He sounded drunk the whole time, you know? And
you were, to be fair.
No, I wasn't.
No,
I mean, I was. I mean, that's what I say when I am. But anyway.
Continue.
Or you can message me and say, Scotty, that Jerry guy, I mean, he sounds like some crazy UFO guy.
He's like the guy who drives the UFO. The wacky tobacco and all that. So,
the jazz
not really,
cigarette.
The jazz cigarette.
Anyway, so reach out to us. Let us know what you thought of this first episode. That's the point of this. We've been having fun. I've, honest to God, never had this fun on a phone call before.
Oh my goodness!
I'm sorry.
I'm sitting in my house. I'm sitting in my house. I'm so sweaty.
And I'm staring at you. Yeah, face to face. No, it is my absolute pleasure to do this and be a part of this. But what as a listener, what do you want us to do to keep you involved? We've been discussing release times. Since this is the first episode, we plan on doing about 2 episodes a month. Now, hopefully the next couple of weeks, maybe next couple of months, we might see some more growth, or you might want to hear more from us, more opinions. You might want longer episodes. You might want shorter episodes. Whatever we feel out, we see, we will give it to you, definitely. Now, how many release in 1 month? Probably 2 starting out. Jerry and I, we have plans to release maybe 4. Then maybe it might get big enough to do 8, like Resistance Broadcast level. We don't know. But Jerry, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
What can you expect from me? What do you want me to do?
Scotty, I want you to do your job. No. I expect kind of what we got tonight, honestly.
Yeah.
If I'm being completely honest, Scott, just a good, rousing conversation about what we love, what we're passionate about.
Of course.
That is this great, beautiful, weird universe in a galaxy far, far away, where bombs drop in space and it's okay.
It's magnets.
They're magnets or space magic. I don't care. Just make it look cool.
Exactly.
I'm going on a tangent again, and please don't hate me. But no, I expect us to have fun, and I expect us as a community. One thing I heard about, one thing that this celebration did for me is it took the negativity that I had seen so much since 2017 online.
Yeah.
It made it evaporate and made me realize that there is so much love for Star Wars. There's so much love for this franchise and what they're doing going forward that I expect me and you, what I expect from you, my co-host, Scotty, is for us to remain positive and even when we disagree, to be able to have a conversation about it.
Yeah. That's
cool, man. I'm glad you like or dislike that.
Exactly.
Or I'm sorry you disliked that.
Exactly. I completely agree.
Exactly.
That's the beauty in this, and Jerry, I expect the same from you. You know, like there's very few people that I can say. I got it. It took me a second.
Yeah, no, you're fine.
There's very few people that I meet, day-to-day basis, and I mean, there's a lot that goes on, and Star Wars is very mundane to some people, and I respect that. I mean, Star Wars is not your thing, but we got listeners right now, hopefully, that are like, man, this is my thing. This is my thing, and I expect from you to keep this positivity going with me, and it seems like you're going to do it.
Yes.
And what I want to do to really bring this whole show to a close is, if you enjoyed this, reach out to us. Let us know. If you did not enjoy this, let me know. I expect that as fans, okay? Give us your humble opinions. Now, don't be ridiculous, but
don't try to make us cry.
I think you might have talked too long, Scotty, or I think Jerry, you might have went too long on this. Whatever, it's fine. That's what we're here for. This is our first episode. This is the first time doing this.
Exactly.
And I think we're gonna try to keep it right at a little bit of above an hour. But thank you for joining us. You got any closing remarks, Jerry? That anything you want to thank the fans for, or anything in regards?
Well, I just want to thank this amazing, supportive, just environment that we have on Star Wars Twitter and all the creators that are on there that follow us and we follow them. And it has been such an encouragement to get words of positivity and encouragement from other people to say, yeah, man, make something.
Totally.
And let's help each other out.
Totally.
That is what Star Wars is all about. It is about hope. It's about found family, and it is about coming together and making good things happen, guys.
I can't agree more, and that's the thing. Like you can go at it in any different direction. You may have dislikes and you may have similar likes, but there's a lot of things that we take in as Star Wars fans, and especially people that are totally listening to this right now. You're not the ones that are like, Last Jedi was great. I saw, that's it. And you're like, no. The people that generally listen to this kind of things are the fans that are like, hey, I want the comics. I want the books. Give me the audiobooks. I can't wait till I can go to Galaxy's Edge.
Yes.
Things like that. You are the people that are involved and deep diving into this community. And I am so thankful that you gave us the opportunity. And I've created content before. Jerry's a musician. He's created content before. And the hardest thing is putting yourself out there. And so here I am, and here Jerry is as well. I speak on your behalf, bud. We are putting ourselves out there, and we want you to be as receptive and give us as much feedback as possible. So I guess we can end this first episode with thank you for listening, and I hope you come back again, whoever you are listening. I'm so excited. If this goes well, we will continue this, and that's it. That's it for me, man. What do you have to say?
I think all I have to add is that the fart joke in The Phantom Menace is still funny.
It is.
It's crass. Hilarious. It's crass, but it's 90s humor. What more do you people want?
And it's George Lucas at his finest. Let's be real. Let's be real.
In fact, here's hoping for a fart joke in episode 9. Don't hate me. I'm just kidding. I had to add something crass.
Could you imagine? If they did?
Can you imagine? Okay, Rey and Kylo are like doing a force like a force Skype, and all of a sudden you hear, and she's like, "Did you just fart?" And he's like, "No, that was. I gotta go."
But
and that is the kind of quality material you can expect.
Oh my God, yeah, totally. No, anyway, my name and welcome for joining, and I'm sorry, welcome
everyone. Welcome.
Thank you for joining us at the Bombad Podcast. I am Scotty Jarrow. Follow me at the Scott Jarrow on Twitter. That is the THE Scott and Jarrow JAYRO at Twitter to get more updates, and follow us at the Bombad Cast or at BOMBADCAST Bombad Cast. Very simple on Twitter.
Yeah. The Bombad Cast, right?
Oh, the handle.
We put a the.
I believe but on our actual name, it's just Bombad.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah. Well, I will shut up then.
Anyway, Jerry, what you got to say?
Well, if you want more quality banter like I've provided tonight, then you should probably go somewhere else. But if you want to follow me on Twitter, then you can go to Canon Junkie on Twitter at Junkie Cannon, and it is spelled exactly like you think. It's Cannon with the CANON, not the kind that you shoot. So, that is that.
That is that, and a hashtag you can use if you want to continue to spread the love and spread the joy of this podcast. We got just use hashtag the Bombadcast.
Yes,
easy as that. And when to expect more content? My God, I can't guarantee anything right now. This might be dropped next week at some point. Hopefully, you'll be listening and interested.
We'll leave you hungry for more.
We'll leave you hungry for more. Look, hey, the next
Don't
episode
worry,
might feature a couple special guests. I can't guarantee anything. We don't know that yet. Yeah. We don't know.
Don't worry, baby birds. Don't worry. We'll be back.
Jerry, of course, had created a clever outro phrase for us. So, Jerry, I'm going to send it to you. Thank you for everyone for joining, and welcome to the Bombad Cast.
All right, guys. Until next time. Stay Bombad. That's fantastic.
I liked it. I thought it was pretty good.
SWCC or Bombad.